goes, I'll just briefly again let community know. Okay, and the same with the Discord. Okay, let me open the chat, check if we can. Hey guys, hopefully you can see us, you can hear us. Please, if you can again confirm that in the chat. Hey Chaitanya, I take that as a yes.
Chaitanya.
Yeah, didn't miss a single stream.
He's always there.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you for confirmation. Okay, let me open the chat. Get rid of so many tabs that I have opened. And we can dive in. Okay, so what do you think, Kenny? Was it just the momentary strength for dollar, or do you think it will continue? Just before you dive into your analysis.
No.
Just
No.
Short one, right?
No. Dollar's finished. Game over.
Yeah.
Game over. You heard it here first. No, all seriousness. Look, guys, we will look at, in 2026, we're going to be looking at the dollar at some crazy lows, man. And this is just the start, okay, what we're seeing here. We're not even really seeing anything yet, to be honest with you, but the cracks are occurring. Guys, I've been pretty damn active on Twitter today. I'm just re-emphasizing just my shorts for the dollar. Okay, look, we covered obviously FOMC last week, and at the end of the day, these guys are obviously, as we know, they're dovish. But I said to you, look, in terms of what happens next, for me personally, there's two things. There's two ways to look at this. What happens next, in my opinion, doesn't really matter, and I'm going to elaborate on that point in a moment. But it's very important that we, over the coming weeks, I'm just having a brain freeze here. It's very important over the coming weeks that we look at every single high impact piece of data. It's no longer about what the Fed says, okay? Because the Fed's decisions are now going to be based on all these high impact data points. I'm just trying to pull up the freaking month here, this month. Okay, so, right. Every single one of these high impact data points that you see now moving forwards, okay? When I say every single one, I'm talking about every single one. So I'm talking about the key PMIs, right? This is going to be sensitive to that. Labor market data. We've got the key labor market data coming next week. Okay, I believe we have non-farm payrolls next week already. That came around fast, didn't it? So these data points, CPI, okay, sorry, ahead of CPI. So non-farm payrolls, CPI, you want to watch this. Market's going to be so sensitive because they're like, looking at this data, just to put it into like an analogy, it's a red light, green light system. If the data is great and it's not actually too bad, then that's red light. We're going to be on pause for rates because this guy here, look at this guy, for example, now, Fed's Bostich, right? He's one of the FOMC members. He says he sees little reason to cut rates further for now, right? This was he's speaking to the Wall Street Journal. Now, he looks like a movie star, actually, interestingly enough. Looks like some sort of movie star. But he's saying that there's no reason to cut rates further for now. So you can see the guys, the FOMC, there is some reluctance to want to carry on. They're not all in unison, holding hands, singing along for rate cuts, bending over for Trump. No, that's not the case. So it's going to be very much data dependent. So if we get bad data now, next week with these jobs numbers, you can expect dollar to get smashed to pieces, okay? Because it'll be a green light for more rate cuts, okay? But now on my point where I said, regardless of what happens, dollar's finished. I'm saying that because I'm just going, and I know I sound like a broken record, but I just want to reinforce the structural issues around the dollar at the moment. And it's still the continuation of the political instability that Trump's come in and caused, the tariff mess, the global uncertainty there. I was looking at data over the weekend, and basically there's still foreign money coming into the United States, but what these guys are doing is, usually what people would do is they would have dollar cash. So they would have cash, dollar reserves, right, when they're investing. But what they're doing, they're investing in the United States, but they're not holding raw dollars. They're quickly hedging that dollar risk through FX, various sort of structured products like FX contracts and so on and so forth. They're hedging that risk. So they don't want, no one wants to hold dollars anymore because of that uncertainty and that exposure that there. So there's a real, like, I'm telling you, my years in this game, there's a serious structural shift occurring with the dollar. And then again, look, ECB Lagarde. Oh, sorry, not Lagarde. Maybe was it Lagarde? There was another piece. Okay, maybe it's in Reuters. Euro reserve currency. There was another piece put out today. Yeah, look. Here, this is interesting. It's worth taking a look. Basically, they're just saying how, in a nutshell, given that Trump's caused a lot of uncertainty, basically what I've just been saying, Trump's caused a lot of uncertainty, all this trade policy mess, it's global influence. And interestingly, if you look at this report here, scroll down. It's not on here. I must have. Here we go. Look, currencies held in central banks worldwide by year. Look, obviously, it's a vast majority of dollars, of course. But look at 2025. I know it's small increments, but it's dropped. The holdings, 57.7%. Look at euro. Okay, euro. This is euro and this is other currencies. But euros, obviously, it's still a bit off, but it's going to play catch up. Okay, everybody's talking about it. Dollar is not king anymore. Okay, it's losing that status. So bring that into a nutshell. I still see dollar downside. Now, what does this look like this week? What am I looking out for? I expect this to be a continuation for euro. Look at this wick here. I want to see this wick being filled to the upside, coming back up to 119. I firmly believe that's going to happen. Okay, structure is there. Excuse me. So we had obviously this big breakout, capped at 117. This is obviously the breakout, retest, and then push to the upside. Again, pull back, but we've printed a new high low. We're going to the north. Again, this is the sort of shit that I like. We had this minor pullback here. We're printing lower highs, lower lows, all that good stuff. Then we broke structure. Bulls are back in town. Nice big breakout there on Monday today. And then now we're going to push to the upside. We're using mid 117 region as new demand. I was hoping we were going to get the liquidity sweep today, but didn't see it. Just a nice clean breakout retest of Asian range high, held, bam, gone clear. So I expect this to push to the upside, and I like the idea of swing longs. I just didn't get an entry today, which is annoying. But nevertheless, I will still look at potential entries. Potentially we'll come back down here, consolidate a little bit, maybe get a liquidity sweep tomorrow, Asian range, London open, and then push to the upside. Okay, I like those longs a lot. I don't know what your thoughts are on Jake.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I can share screen for a little while. Let me here, window and trading view. So basically, I was doing probably the same as you. I was waiting if we're going to get lower low, because I thought so before going up, but I'm still very bullish on Euro US dollar. We didn't get it, so now I'm just waiting if we reach 1.18, because I think that's the next stop where we can have some sort of a slight correction and then going towards the upside. I'll be targeting 1.19, I think, easily, either new high, which is not that far from 1.19. So yeah, I'm just waiting till we reach about 1.18 level, because there's the gap. There's also 50% fib. I think the price might be reacting a little bit in this zone. And if so, if we get some sort of a correction, I'll be probably answering then.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same. That goes for GU, where I'll be as well, pretty much. But I would rather buy euro against dollar, because for me it's safer. Whenever I was looking to trade Euro GBP, I'm still very bullish on this, so I prefer now euro than pound. In that case, I would go rather with EU than GU, but I think the pound and dollar will also just break above and well, again, meet 1.36, if not even higher, and again creating new higher highs at the top, which is about how much? 1.372. Yeah, I think in the midterm that's very possible.
Definitely.
Yeah, that high looks sweet.
Yeah. I'm just waiting. No, I won't be waiting because it's on Friday. The first very important news from US or important news comes on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. The personal income and the personal spending, which is also a pretty important indicator for US economy. So I'll be just then confirming if that still aligns with dovish tone from the Fed. And if so, I'll be just holding it, probably swing as a swing trade.
100. Someone in the chat was saying, and I mean, you pretty.
I'm sorry, you are lagging a little bit. Angel, is that just me, or can you?
Yeah. I cannot hear Ken as well.
Yeah, we need to wait a little bit probably for Ken's internet to come back. Yeah, let's wait a bit because I think it's gonna be probably he's out like completely now because I think he's frozen. But we can still hear him, right?
Yeah, barely, but we can't. Yeah, he's out now.
Can't even stop it. Is he? Let me see. Yeah, he is out. So okay, guys. So this is till Ken comes back. I'll take over. So this is dollar, and the same as dollar. I think, in my view, I think Ken is going to agree. It's going to happen on Canadian dollar. I was just this morning watching the Canadian dollar index. If I go to 4-hour or daily. We had a slight correction. The Bank of Canada is still dovish. What else can they do? Because they don't have a data to support anything that can tell them to be hawkish. So on Monday, pretty bearish momentum. So Canadian dollar, US dollar, Ken just messaging me. Both for me are nice opportunities for short. And we discussed it last week. I'm just going to check Ken unable to connect. Try to refresh. Okay. And we were discussing it. So as well as the euro and US dollar, I still like a lot the euro and Canadian dollar. On the Monday, so much bullish momentum already. A big candle. On Monday, there's not much volatility in the market, but still, we're going to definitely create new high, which is now not that far from the current price. How much is it? 60 pips. I think that we can do a slight correction. I didn't expect the Canadian dollar to be that weak on Monday, but still, if we're going to get it at least towards the 1.625, I'll be taking the longs for the new high. In this zone, it should be about 80 pips. And I don't think that Canadian dollar will right now somehow strengthen. I think it will remain pretty weak, as well as the US dollar. Let me double check. Ken is back. Okay. Is he? Probably. Probably not. Let's check the check. Did you notice Ken's internet just hit stop loss? Damn, my internet does it slow. Hit guys. How are you? Okay. Channel. Yeah, can't just return back, for example. Yeah, he's back. He's back. Can you hear us?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Do you know what it is, guys?
He's back.
Every time I talk down the dollar and I say the dollar's not king anymore, I get screwed over.
Do you think that you connected?
Trying to get me.
You're being spied on.
Did you see where we retrace it on Jake on ECAT?
On which?
If you zoom out,
Euro Canadian dollar.
If you zoom out a little bit, I'm not sure if you can remember the gap.
We were talking about it when we were here. Then it bounced it.
And bounced it and then retraced it back, and now we're trading higher again
to 1.62.
So it will be like pretty much like a waiting time. But I will be pissed off if I was waiting for that retracement and the price just trade back higher, then goes back. Yeah,
I don't think that we will go any lower than 1.62. I don't think we create new low. It's just a matter of where it's the best price to go for the longs. for swing traders. Maybe right now, for those who have tight stop losses, I would probably advise to wait a little bit because I think there might be a slight pushback towards at least 62.5, which is the zone. So yeah, could be happening, but with the momentum that we have already on Monday, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Maybe just a few pips towards the downside, and then immediately we'll go to create new high, which is, as I said, 60 pips. So not a big deal. What are your thoughts on Canadian dollar? Because today we've got like the weakest currency is Canadian dollar, and I think it will remain throughout the week.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've said for the last sort of couple of streams now, I'm extremely bearish oil. I'm super bearish oil. So I think CAD's for some reason, CAD's a bit of an not a bit, is a major underperformer today. And I was waiting, obviously, for that. Last week, it should have been an underperformer. We had some massive selling. Sorry, not massive selling. Excuse me. Last month, rather, in August, we had quite a chunky pullback for oil. But now I think it's starting to kick in. And I expect that this oil weakness, as it picks up momentum, I expect that to really weigh on CAD coming weeks. It's going to hit CAD quite hard, in my opinion.
Yeah, daily is extremely bullish. I think it will remain. How much? It's not that far. 1.64. It's not that far. It should be like 100, 150 pips. Not even that. Man. It's very achievable.
Yeah, man. And sorry, someone just while we're still on CAD, someone just said to me, why am I bearish CAD? Because the economy's pants. You know, GDP has been contracting like for a while. This whole 2025 has been contraction, no growth, contraction, no growth. Like the economy is pretty poor. Beautiful country, but economy's poor right now.
Yeah.
You know, the government obviously they've had mess politically. You know, remember I had Justin Trudeau, you had to step down. It's a political mess. Inflation's high, generally speaking, and growth is low. Jobs are getting bad. There's a rising unemployment. So that's why I'm bearish CAD and oil on top of that. So CAD and NZD are like my biggest, they have to be the biggest shorts right up there. CAD and NZD have to be.
Yeah, Canadian agree 100% with that. Even bank can't do anything with that. They can't intervene because the economy is already damaged or be hawkish, because that wouldn't help either. So they've got nothing to do.
Yeah,
pretty much agree with that. GE, BP, CAD, probably the same situation, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit lower because pound is not as strong as the euro, but I think it's going to happen the same. We're not that far. It's about, we more than that, about 170 pips from the new highs, but I think it's going to happen either this week or next week. So yeah, the same here.
Yeah.
Let me just double check the chat.
I'm just going to quickly answer one more question quickly, Jake, just because
sure.
CAD, someone said, Ken, what's the correlation between CAD and oil? So CAD are a major oil exporter. So a lot of the economy's revenue or money, income is from Canadian oil sales, So if oil prices are going up, these guys get more money coming in because obviously they charge more for the higher oil prices. But if oil prices are going down, that's less that they can charge for that oil, you know, less income coming in. So that's the correlation there with CAD.
Yeah, spot on.
Yeah.
So what's your view about Japanese yen pairs? Well, not much changed in my view for Japanese yen. I don't feel any strong about Japanese yen. Wouldn't be the currency that I would look for longs at this point. Didn't get any new announcements from the bank, nor any positive economic data. It's been upside downs for past few weeks, so I wouldn't trade it. If I would, not definitely with dollar or CAD because they're both weak, and I think the Japanese yen is going to be weak as well. There's no bullish momentum. It was once in August, well, early in August, but since then we're still falling down. So I wouldn't be too bullish on Japanese yen. As a matter of fact, maybe the US dollar, Canadian dollar, alongside with the Japanese yen are the currencies that I'll be looking for shorts, and longs would be probably euro, pound, Swiss franc, even though Swiss franc has the policy decision, nothing's going to change there because they did everything they could. So I think Swiss franc, euro, pound longs, and those three that I've mentioned previously, shorts, and I'll be looking for currency pairs in this order to trade. That's pretty much it. Do you have any news about Japanese yen? I don't think anything happened. We just got the CPI this week, but nothing important last week. So anything
For
changes
JPY?
with you? Yeah.
No, nothing new at the moment. No,
Yeah.
no.
So what else they have? So didn't know. Okay. Euro pound week dollar.
Oh, GCAT looks really, really bullish.
I'm sorry?
Like that daily candle on GCAT looks super bullish.
How's China economy looking? Well, here's the fact. Poland few days ago closed the borders. So basically 90% of exports from China coming to Europe were just cut off now. So I don't think that's going to help China. I don't know why I'm asking if you trading Chinese currency or in the response to Australian dollar, which is about to have CPI data this week. I'm very, very interested in what's going to happen because I would like to get back to trading Australian dollar again, probably with the euro. So if we're going to get lower CPI print, if I'm not mistaken, it is Wednesday. You can double check, guys, but I think it's on Wednesday. If we're going to get lower inflation print, I'll be definitely back on euro Australian dollar, heading again towards the north to 1.8 level, because this pair was my favorite and still could be. But I need to see inflation in Australia coming down. If that's going to be happening, I can see bullocks being dovish, hopefully, and euro Australian dollar going towards the upside. Is there any impact on gold due to Chinese currency? Well, due to Chinese currency, I don't think so. I don't know about the buying program from a Chinese bank about the gold, if something changed, but I don't think so. Just based on the US dollar weakness, gold should be aiming higher. Okay, Ken, do you have any other currencies that you would like to discuss, or do we pass mic to Andrew with his index analysis?
Yeah, you can pass over to Angel.
Okay.
Yeah, all good.
Andrew, if you won't mind, I'll stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Let me double check the chat.
Share my screen. Okay, guys. All right. So as you can see, we've been trading higher, really bullish since then. The analysis that we have pre-FOMC was actually spot on, because we did have that manipulation higher and manipulation lower. As you guys can see here, we actually on the SP 500, we traded into the daily gap here, taking this low, and then we have that divergence in price with the Nasdaq. So that was actually one of the confirmations that I had back in that time last week. I wanted to say that I had a rough start of the month. I'm finally back on track and profit. It was hard. I haven't been able to actually perform like in the same way on the EA account, because I was actually really focused on the PA accounts. But I wanted to say, guys, that like when you're like bearing with a losing streak and with losses, you guys have to realize that that's completely part of the process, and you have to just stick to your rules. And not because if you're losing and someone else is actually hitting bangers, hitting TP, it means that you're wrong, because that's when the problem starts, and then you're going to try to switch your strategy and you're going to try to look for something else just because right now it's not working. It doesn't mean it's not working. It's because just trading conditions are not aligned with your current edge on trading. But eventually, if you know what you're doing, if you already have your data, it's going to just put you back there. You guys know what I mean? So as with that being said, we're still pretty much bullish. I don't really want to see anyone looking for shirts right now. It's hard, I know, but it's just pretty much going up and up. If you look at the weekly time frame, we are starting to see some gaps that we may trade back later. We don't know when or how. As you guys see here on the last stream, I told you guys that we had a decent close from last week. So I wanted to see a huge momentum coming in after this close, and that's what happened last week. And that's pretty much what we're seeing here. If we place here and we set the Fibonacci on this retracement, right? It was pretty much back to the 70% again. Let me show you guys. So we are actually getting here, right? This will be pretty much the target that I'll be looking for this week, the first days. This one, which will be 25,084. This is going to be the target that I will look in this week. As you guys see here, I wanted to see then a retracement tomorrow to get into this target. As you see here, guys, we have this gap on the 4 hour, and if we go to the 1 hour, we do have a new leg in price. So the same as always, Fibonacci 50%. You see the gap is just slightly below the 50%. So Ken model here, just a retracement during Asia, London manipulation, and then we trade higher. And it's pretty much the same scenario that we had last week a lot, even today. Like, let's just take a look into this. So this is the M5. Watch, this is Asia. This is the lagging price that we had, right? This is the 50% retracement. So Asia trades, London manipulate, so we traded back or deeper into this retracement. So this is around the 70% area, and what happens? We trade higher. So Friday, Asia, look at this. This is the new leg, right? Higher low, higher high. This is the 50%. Asia, what happens? Asia manipulates lower from London, and then we trade higher. It's pretty much the same. Like, this is what you should be looking for when you're trading the all-time highs, right? You will keep your mind that you want to look for the best place to get along, right? So tomorrow, that's what I have for the NASDAQ is, yeah, sorry about that. Let me just take out everything else. Okay, so let me go to the 4 hour. I want to see then the retracement back into this gap here from the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Let's see if we have that tomorrow. Let me just take this one out and then go to the SP 500. It'll pretty much the same. We do not have a gap here, but this glows here. I want to see some, maybe a tap back into this bearish candle, because it's pretty much the same. Let me go just look to hourly time frame. Fibonacci again. Yep. So pretty much just retracement and then trading back higher. Just what I'm going to be waiting for tomorrow. Of course, just be aware of the news. You want to be waiting for the data to release, because we could see maybe a push if we see some sort of change in the structure to trade lower. It's because we do have a daily fair value gap here. On the daily time frame, there is a gap that I wanted to see today. The price is traded higher, right? If you guys see this gap here. So if we do have a change in the structure for the hourly time frame or the 4 hour, we're going to trade back into this gap that we're living here. But if the hourly is still showing this structure, then I'm going to be patiently just waiting for the best place to take longs. Because if you guys suddenly just see some sort of momentum coming in the market, and you guys see this and say, oh, we are finally going to drop and then we just stop here, and then we just trade higher again, you'll be just amazed. Don't be amazing if that happens, because it's really, really possible at this time. So just match the hours, wait for the data to release, and that's it. If you look at the YM, which is the Dow Jones, you see that we respected this gap that we had marked out on the hourly time frame. We do have some sort of we're weak here, but look at this. So the candles are respecting the gap. Even to that, we're trading a little bit lower with this week here. The candle was actually rejecting, and now we're trading back higher. So the same here. We have some sort of accumulation here that we're just trading out of it. We're really bullish. So just trace your Fibonacci, guys. Wait for every retracement at the 50% level, below the 50% level. Just wait for the confirmation. And if Asia and London are confirming the same narrative, then that's all you need to trade. All right. For the DXY, we did have really a good narrative here, because as you guys can see, we actually traded lower from this gap. We took the low that I told you guys last week, and you see what happens right after we swept this low. We traded back higher, right? But this, for me, is just a retracement, because if you look at this low here, this is a lower high and this is a lower low. So it's getting really interesting. For me, that you guys are really long on EU and GU, I want to be more cautious and wait for this gap to be disrespected. I don't want to see the price reacting from this gap. I want to see then a close below this gap here, and then I'm going to be super bullish on euro dollar and pound dollar. But then I will want to see this gap getting disrespected. So that is going to confirm the structure here to take more shorts. All right. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have for Monday. Let's see what happens on Wednesday. And yeah, we are friends. I'm just respecting.
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
just replying to a guy. Yeah.
Thank you so much for the analysis. I'm just trying to answer the chat because it's a lot of questions. Let me double check.
Someone said, are we free friends? No, we're freaking enemies.
No, most of the time our views are aligned, so which is good.
Yeah.
We didn't have yet different views, except with Joel, I think, on gold a couple of weeks ago on Discord. But other than that, we're pretty aligned. Let me see the chat very quickly. Yeah, just by the way, forgot to mention, guys, E8 today launched a new promo for 7 days. So it's for E81. Those of you who trade E81, you've got 15% discount. Not only that, but also if you get into a trader stage and then you do a few mistakes, unfortunately losing the evaluation, you are going to get another shot. So free chance to trade the evaluation again after you reach the trader stage, which is a good deal. So
the problem is fire.
Yeah,
it's
I think
fire.
Isn't it free retry? I think this is the code that you need to reset code free retry you need to use in the checkout, and otherwise you're good. Forgot to mention because I think it's really nice promo from E8 now. Okay, let me check if I have any other charts. By the way, guys, if you have any other markets that you would like us to discuss,
you guys didn't check gold, right?
Leave it. We didn't, but I can share the screen. There's not much to talk about gold. We're going to that's that's pretty much settled. I mean, we are definitely heading towards 3.8. I think we're going to get there, if not this week, the next week, and then in the midterm. Might be probably saying, but I still believe that somewhere this year we might hit 4K, which is about $1,300 below. But I think it's very probable. Even now with the momentum, we went for correction, but we went sideways for a few days. But now we're back in a business, and we are aiming. It's about $160 towards 3.8, which I'm actually thinking about trading it. Not a financial advice, but I'll be probably entering because I do believe we're gonna hit it. I don't think, Kenny, you're going to post that.
No,
Or will you?
not at all.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
at all. Fully aligned, my man. Fully.
Okay, let me
Crazy.
see. Everyone, please subscribe. Okay. Would love to see GBP Japanese yen and gold and Swiss Japanese yen. Well, I said already to Chatanya in the chat that nothing changed for me. Again, Swiss franc, I don't have any analysis. This is bullish for me, and I think it will again create new highs above 187. Nothing changed for me regarding Swiss franc. No negative news. On the other side, for Japanese yen, as I said, no positive news. So the chart remains, and the fundamental analysis remains pretty bullish on Swiss franc and Japanese yen. So even now we're creating a correction on lower time frame, which might be nice. Better entries. I don't think that we're gonna get lower below this zone, 186 to 185.8. If in case we do, I'm going to be rebuying. I'll probably enter somewhere here towards the upside if I'll be trading it, but most likely I will, because we've got just Tokyo CPI this week, so I don't think we're going to get some unexpected positive news from Japan. And if we won't turn in, what is this, 1.862, then I'll be trading again 20 pips below that. So that's Swiss franc, Japanese yen. I'll be just very careful once there's the right decision from Swiss bank, but I'm not expecting anything new. And what was the other one? The other one was pound Japanese yen, pretty much the same. It's still very bullish market, isn't it? Oh, we did a correction, a nice one too. Okay. Didn't expect this bearish candle, but doesn't change much for me. Actually does not. So yeah, for me still looks really bullish. I don't have much of an analysis in here, but just watching the chart, the 199 level is pretty important zone just based on these wicks here and also what happened here. So I think we might be actually turning back towards the upside. Is there anything that can surprise us from pound, Ken? Do you think, or I don't think it's something is on calendar, right?
Well, we've got services PMI tomorrow.
Oh yeah, of course, PMI ready.
Yeah, so that makes up 70% of the UK's growth. So it's an important one to note that tomorrow morning.
Let me see. Let me double check the calendar. What
Yeah.
we will have. And someone also mentioned New Zealand and US dollar, but I won't be trading it probably because both of them are pretty weak at this point for me. So I wouldn't be standing with neither of those. Okay, where's the calendar here? Let me see the PMIs just really quickly. By the way, I haven't seen PMIs like cause some major trends, but in case we're spiking above or below 50, guys, which is like crucial level, it can create a lot of volatility on that day. Definitely. I've seen it a lot of times on Euro. The most important that you need to watch are services in France, industry in Germany, and then also the composite in Euro area. What is the UK time for it? So 8:15 we've got French services, 8:30, 15 minutes after, again UK time, we've got the manufacturing from Germany, and then about 30 minutes later the EU, and then we've got PMIs from UK. But based on what am I seeing here, I don't think we're gonna drop below 50 on the services. No, we'll go above 50 on manufacturing, so I think we should be good.
Yeah. Jake, just a quick one. Someone was asking, what do you mean by above or below 50? So the number above 50 is growth territory. That's classified as growth for that manufacturing or services below 50 is contraction. So there's no growth. Obviously, it's contracting, it's shrinking. Yeah. I missed the date, years ago, because you just sparked the thought in my head. You said they don't really move anymore, like years ago. And it just made me think of data in general. Data would we would be so sensitive to data. Like these PMIs would be a big thing. I remember sitting when I was an analyst on a desk and, we'd be looking forward to these PMIs because we'd see moves of like 70 pips. If numbers were out of line of expectations, we're going to see like 70 pips. And it's funny because, again, I'm saying years ago, but you would get a move. Say, for example, the PMIs were stronger than expected. You'd pop higher by like 30, 40 pips. The price would retreat a little bit as people take profits, but then it will go again. Like, it was so
exactly
easy.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Yes.
It's mad.
I think if we review, I completely align with this view because I think you was on a holiday when we had the live stream without you, but I'm probably going to find it. I'm going to pull it out on the next live stream session. But I said exactly the same. I said people watch the EU at least PMIs because they do exactly this. Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, if it's too positive, they spike, then there's a slight correction, and then they spike again. So completely aligned with you on this. But watch for the 50. Good that you mentioned it, Ken. Someone was asking in chat. Let me see. Did you Euro Australian dollar change from last week? Bias? No. My bias on Euro Australian dollar are still long. Didn't take them. Wasn't convinced that Australian dollar is going to be weaker, but happened to be. But I'll be waiting for Wednesday CPI, and if they show up to be, as I said, weaker, so lower than what's expected, I'll be probably taking swings on Euro Australian dollar. Let me see into charts, but if you take a few live streams back, take a look. I was actually aiming for this level, but I wasn't convinced. But I was highlighting this level. Still, didn't expect this at all. Nevertheless, see that bullish momentum. Just Monday. Monday is usually very slow. We get a lot of bullish momentum. So if that will sustain in the regard of the CPI on Wednesday, I'll be taking the longs towards 1.8, which is now pretty far, isn't it? How far? Wait, I need to take this. And it's about, no, it's not that far. It's about 130 pips, but still, I'll be taking it. Even then, probably to new high height in the midterm. But in that case, Euro needs to remain as strong as it is now, which I think it will. So my buyers are long. I'm just waiting for the confirmation on the CPIs. Long GBP Japanese yen. We've discussed that. What's your take on US dollar and Japanese yen? Not going to trade it. Probably the same as New Zealand dollar. Basically, my strategy is that I'm choosing strong and weak currencies. And at this point, dollar, Japanese yen, Canadian dollar, New Zealand dollar, those are weak for me. So I'm not going to be trading them in a pair. Just looking for strong currencies to pair it with. So that's that. Does anyone know if it's possible? Let me see if it's possible to trade news when there's red news and like tomorrow's PMIs. I don't think we actually have PMIs yet, markets. I need to check on it. I can tell you guys, but I don't think we have PMIs on restricted news. Let me double check. So. And here. And by the way, guys, those of you who are asking, now we can do again live streams and camera views because there was an issue that before every time before I wanted to show you a trader, I need to cover all the personal informations. But our AT team sat down and solved the issue for me. So I've got just one click on the button and I'll hide every personal information from that trader. So either tomorrow or then Friday or Sunday, we can jump on a stream and do the account review. We've got a list of traders because we haven't got the account reviews since, 3 weeks ago. So I've got a bunch of traders that we can review. And as I'm looking at the restricted news, we don't have PMIs there. So if you want to, feel free to trade it. But as Ken said, even if that's positive, wait a little bit, there's going to be a correction and then continuation in that trend. Most likely, at least if you take a look at the old prints of PMIs where we crossed the level 50, and or we get something unexpectedly higher. It happened. Cool. Thank you. Euro hour the bullish tomorrow. I don't think we've got any other market. I think we've discussed it all. Just watching the chat, but I don't see anything particular. No. So I think we're good to go. Andrew, anything you would like to cover before we leave the session on the indexes, or did you cover it all?
I think I would like to address one of the questions from King Tai.
Sure.
If you give me the chance. I wanted to show him something special right here. So, okay, this is working. I hope he's still here, by the way, because otherwise he can just see the recording. Let me share the screen. So this is something that actually happened last week, and he was asking for it. So I'm going to show you real quick. As you can see here, so it doesn't mean you cannot short, because sometimes, let's see, you're waiting for a retracement here, and then you see the model that we just spoke about with the Asian high, right? So you have the Asian high here. Sometimes you'll see during the morning that we swept the Asian high, and then we have some sort of divergence between both indexes, which is SP 500 and NASDAQ. And then we do have a short here, which will be clean, right? You will be able to take it, and that's completely fine. The thing is that you want to be out of this market quickly and take the most obvious target here. So it will be just this gap here, just right slightly above the 50%. Why? Because if you're holding, let's say, it's something that I saw last week, and I'm going to show you guys. It was, let me see, here. Okay, it was here. So let me take this one out. Look at this. Right, we swept the Asian high, right? And there was some sort of divergence here in that day, I can remember. And we do have opportunities to short here, right? We do have an opportunity to short here. Why? Because we just swept Asian high, then the opening bell is in, and we do have a break of the structure here. And then we do have some sort of the retracement. This is the gap that you can short. And you can take the short, right? Let me just report this one real quick. Okay, so look what happens. You can take the short here, and you can have all this movement. But where are you taking the target? Let's say you're actually aiming to take this low from Asian. And what happens? On that day, if you look at the SP 500, on that day, where is that? Okay, so here. On that day here, you see SP 500 is taking the low, right? And NASDAQ did not, right? So while you're waiting for the price to hit that low, there's a divergence in price. So you're holding your short, and we're still bullish, and we're also setting a divergence. And this is also a gap here in the higher time frame. So you can take the sell, because on the M1 is going to give you a setup for you to sell to an obvious target, but you have to always keep in mind that you're bullish. So it doesn't mean you cannot take the sell, but just keep that in mind. That's for King.
Just scalping trades.
Yeah, exactly.
Understand. Okay. He's trading the strategy probably the same as you.
Yeah, he told me something about when you're waiting for the price to retrace back into the discount area, would you be able to take the shorts? Will you capitalize on the shorts? And of course you can. It absolutely depends on the way you trade, because on this day, I did not take the short. I saw the short, of course, but I didn't, because it was not in between my time frame to trade. It wasn't. Right, and I saw a lot of people taking the trade, and it was fine. And I took it long right after that. So you could take shorts, take profits. You can take longs, take profit, everything on the same day. So of course, it just depends on the way that you like to trade and the way that aligns more with your personality. But yeah, so yeah, okay. That's your answer. Yeah, fine.
Okay, perfect. As I'm saying in the chat, I don't think we have any other markets that we can discuss. So, yeah, thank you guys for sharing the analysis, the insights. I hope you guys in the chat are aligned with our views. If not, it's completely fine. It's trading. You can have different positions on it. And I'll see you again on Wednesday.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool,
Perfect.
bro.
Well,
Thank
it
you
was nice
guys.
to see you
Appreciate it.
guys.
Bless
Yeah.
up.
Appreciate
guys.
seeing you here. See you on Wednesday. Best of luck, traders.